Okay. Oh, I've just realized that my screen is down on the table. So let me switch this around so I can chat with you for a minute here. Hang on just a second. Okay. There I am to say hello. Hi everyone. I am Christina Taylor, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from North Canton, Ohio. My chair is a little squeaky, so it's I can hear it squeaking. It's kind of like bothering me. Anyway, it's a distraction. So today we are going to do Christmas cards. I know it's October, but it's time to make Christmas cards. And today, and when I'm filming this, it's actually rainy, so it's a little bit cooler than what it has been. When I had the Christmas card class, the Christmas card extravaganza, we did that on Saturday, and I believe it was 82 degrees here. So we were out in the Creativity Barn creating, eating Christmas cookies, and some of the other ladies brought some treats too. So Wendy brought some shortbread cookies, which she had pecans in one and then plain, and then she made a chocolate shortbread, all very delicious. And then Jeannie shared some chocolates with us, dipped cherries, blueberries, and almonds chocolates. And then Debbie came with, let me find it here. I've got one right here. She dropped one off room. Debbie came with these cute little treat boxes for everyone at class, which have some little chocolate treats in it. Hershey's Nugget and Ghirardelli, little Ghirardelli squares. So sweet. And isn't she just so creative? Look at that. This is one of our kits. It's actually on our kit sale right now, but it is currently unavailable because everybody has grabbed them up. So super cute little box. So she brought those to share with everybody. So that was kind of a nice surprise to have some extra treats. And I attempted with the Christmas music, but it was just my phone was not cooperating, nor was Spotify to get it to actually play longer than just one song. So we kind of we gave up on that, but the ladies seemed to enjoy the class in general and the treats and just the camaraderie with everybody there stamping for that holiday time of year that's quickly approaching. Do you know Christmas is like 80 days away? Just 80. Yeah, it's going to be here before we know it. And the snow is going to be flying too. We know that. Anyway, we will enjoy the fall weather we're having. So, um, I am coming to you with a Christmas card class. These cards are going to be all they are meant to be. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that light. It looks like a little halo. It's like an angel coming down. I'm so distracted right now. I tell you. Oh my goodness. Bear with me here. Anyway, the cards we're making today are meant to be simple, duplicatable, mailable. So that's kind of something I like to keep in mind when I'm doing my holiday cards. I do ones that are more involved too, but if you need to like make a lot of cards, you send a lot of cards, this is a great way to like take take one of these templates and then like mass produce them and make more holiday cards with them. So if it's something that you like the layout, you like the design, something about it, just make it your own and then continue to make more cards. So anyway. And then let's see what else. So Christmas card class. Right now there's a 3-day sale going on with the Kits collections. So that little angel light is it's really bothering me. I'm gonna take that as a good sign. You know what? Maybe that's my brother. Maybe that's my brother from heaven and he's just like sending some good vibes down. Let's go with that. I'm gonna go with that. Puts a little positive spin on it. Anyway, so the kit sale is going on right now. So kits are 10 to 30% off, and that lasts through tomorrow. They are while supplies last. So like I mentioned, the little Halloween treat boxes, they've already sold out. So they're like currently unavailable. They will be restocked. There's a couple other kits that have sold out, but will be restocked. The last chance list has been updated. So there's new products on there. Our marker sets, which are being retired. They were put on there, gosh, like a month ago, and now they're discounted. So you can get like a pack of 10 markers with the color grouping for like, I think it's 24 bucks. Normally they're 35. And then the in color markers are also on there. And I think those sets of five are like 10 bucks. The current one, the just new in colors might be 14. Anyway, great deals. There's deals on designer series paper on there, embellishments, stamp set bundles, all kinds of things. So it's always good to check out the last chance list. And then lastly, for the month of October, if you got my email, you will know that there is like the best starter kit promotion ever that Stampin' Up! Has had. I mean, anytime is a good time to become a part of the Stampin' Up! Family and just have that creative community that you can be a part of. I would love to have you join my team. But anyway, the current starter deal, the one that is just like everybody's like, I could just grab that. It's $35. You can get $125 worth of product that you pick out. You get a paper pumpkin that Stampin' Up! Sends you, so it's a surprise. And but it's current paper pumpkin, something from the past months, and it's a complete kit. Then you get all current new catalogs, and you get business supplies. So you can get all that for $35, free shipping, and just plus tax. And if you can choose to do something with it, you can just be your own best customer and get yourself a 20% discount. There's no obligation if you choose not to pursue it as far as have classes or anything like that. There's no obligation to do that, to do what I do if you don't have the desire to, you just want to get the discount. I mean, but let's be honest, when I signed up like 22 years ago, I just signed up to get the discount too. So anyway, um, but that promotion goes through the entire month of October. So it's $35, $125 worth of product, and then all the extra free goodies. Or you can choose our regular, like standard starter kit for $99, and I think it's $189 that you can choose for in product. So it just depends on if you like want, I mean, either one is a great bargain. It just depends on if you want to spend a little or a little bit more with the starter kit. So for 35 bucks, you can grab a whole bunch of products. And with the kit sale that's going on, like you could grab a ton of kits and put that in your starter kit. And you would have all kinds of things to craft with. So anyway, if you have interest in that, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you about that. And I think that's it. I think that's all that's going on. Class news coming up October 15th, which is next week. I have my Greetings of Gratitude class, and so that is currently open for registration. There's a 1 to 3 p.m. in the afternoon and then a 6:30 to 8:30 in the evening. And that class is $25, and we will be doing 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs. And they will all have like greetings of gratitude, and very much the designs will be very timely for this time of year. If you need to create them into a thinking of you card or something, you can absolutely change the sentiment on the cards. There's also, you can do a kit to go, and that is $25 as well. And then coming up after that, I think it's November 19th. That's the November class, and I think it's like called Snowy Day card class. The cards will have a winter theme. So you could very much probably you could create them into holiday cards if you want, but they're gonna have a winter theme, meaning like snowy or like pines and all kinds of like that kind of winter thing, not necessarily like Santa or like the Holy Family, things like that that would be more applicable for Christmas cards per se. I think that's it. That'll be my last class for the year. I might do a kit together in there because a couple ladies have asked about that, and that's just a nice time to kind of get together, bring what you're working on, and we kit together. Or if you don't have something to work on, I can order you a kit and you can come and craft, and we just kind of share that time together too. So if you're on my email list, watch for details on that. So I think that's it. I'm going to turn the camera down and we'll go ahead and get started stamping. Okay, hang on just a second. Okay, so here's a peek at the cards that we're going to make. This one you're making two of each in the different colors there. And then the others you will make four of each for a total of 20 cards. And then this is our current holiday catalog. If you don't have a copy of that and would like one, please reach out to me. Also, oh goodness, here is our annual catalog. If you don't have a copy of this and it's something that you would like, please reach out to me directly and I can get you a copy of that as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start stamping. We're going to start with this one here. Let me clear my space. Okay, so this first card that we're going to create is this beautiful one with the snowflakes. And this is using a new bundle. So we've got the let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. I'll save you the singing. And then I've got inside, love and joy come to you and may it last the whole year through. Okay, so on this card, and everything is flat to the surface. We've got this label popped up with some dimensionals, but everything else I've glued just flat to the surface. A really simple card. And what we're using on this card is we're using the Snowflake Kisses and the Snowflake Kisses dies. So it's a die set, and you get both sheets of these with the dies. This is a large one that I used to cut the detailed piece. This is the circle here, this one that I used to cut out the center circle. And then I used these three snowflakes right here to cut out of the metallic paper. So this is a great die set. I'm like a sucker for a snowflake set, just like I am for a flower set. So like it's not like I need another one, but I really do love them all. So anyway, and then this sentiment stamp set. So let me kind of put it here so you can focus in on it. We used it at the autumn card class because they could use the be warm, be well, sending warm hugs, lots of love, you're one of a kind. Those kind of went with a fall card as far as I thought. And then these other ones are more like winter, like the chill of winter, the snowflake kisses, winter is warmer when we're together, happy winter, and then let it snow. So it's a nice sentiment set, and it is photopolymer. Okay. Then we're using Pool Party ink. I know Pool Party, summertime, but we're gonna use it on a winter card. And then I actually grabbed some retired sets, and I know all of you have these, your favorite Christmas sets, because this one didn't have any snowflake images. I went ahead and grabbed the large snowflake stamp out of the Frozen Edges, which was just from the previous year's catalog. Love this stamp set. And then I grabbed my Inside Sentiment from A Christmas to Remember. So forgive me for using those, but I'm certain you as a stamper have inside Christmas wishes that you too treasure and use year after year. So, all right, we're going to go ahead. Let me go ahead and open this up. Let me give you our measurements, and you can see I've gone ahead and prepped some of this so you don't have to watch me die cut. So we've got our basic white envelope. We've got a piece of Pool Party cardstock that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. And then so this, before I die cut it, it was a 4.25 by 5.5 panel. And then I die cut it so that it would give me a panel for the front of my card. So this has already been run through with that large snowflake die. Ran through really well. I didn't have any problems with it sticking and all that. I've got a little pieces that I need to pop out here with my little take your pick tool, but no big deal. And then I went ahead and die cut this little circle piece, and if I can get up to the camera there, it's got like little stars. Maybe it's actually supposed to be, it's probably supposed to be like a little snowflake. Like, see that little, I don't know if you can tell on the camera there, but there's like a little star and then a dot, little star and a dot, but I'm guessing they are snowflakes. Either way, it's super cute. And then I've gone ahead and die cut the three different snowflakes out of the metallic silver paper. So those are already done. Let me go ahead and use my take your pick tool and just get these little guys out before I start stamping. So if you did a kit to go, You may have to get some little pieces popped out of yours as well. Okay, there we go. Just some little ones. They're coming out pretty easily, but you just have to, okay. I think that's all of them. Nope, there's a little one right there. Okay, got all of those. All right. Okay, so we're done with that. And then at class, I had some shimmer spray set up. So let's go ahead and shimmer spray this before we start stamping. So I just take a paper pumpkin box and see, look, you can see, look at all the sparkle in there, all the shimmer. This was a shimmer box. And this is just some, it's an old whole hair product bottle, but it's just 70% rubbing alcohol. And then Stampin' Up! Used to carry this. We don't carry it anymore, but let me put up to camera so you can see what it's called. There you go. You just put like a couple drops of this in the bottle, and there's not like a perfect ratio for it. And you can also use our let's see, where's mine at? Our little spritzers. This is what I used to use before I started using it more at classes because now I just make a big bottle of it and then you can spray on whatever you want. But if you were using one of our Stampin' Spritzers, you could fill it up like this much with rubbing alcohol and then put a couple drops of the shimmer spray in there or maybe even a drop because it's smaller. And then go ahead and use this little guy. It's got a nice dispenser or a sprayer on it so you can spray your projects with that. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and just spray this. We're going to give it a little shimmer. That's all we need. I'll let that set aside. It's just rubbing alcohol. It'll dry very quickly. So we'll put that aside because everything with a little shimmer is always better. Okay, so we're going to fold our cardstock in half. Flatten that with the bone folder. And I'm going to come in with a piece of paper to stamp on here. All right, we're going to stamp our Let It Snow on here. And how I like to do it when I'm doing like three stamps of the same sentiment, I'm going to stamp it in the center. And this is photopolymer, but it's just a line stamp. So I don't feel that I need the matte. I say that and we'll wait and see. You're like, well, Christina, you really screwed that up. So I just stamped the one in the center and then I go below it and above it. And I'm going to bring my chamois in here to clean that off. One of the ladies at class, Debbie, who actually brought the little boxes of treats for everybody, she had asked me, she's like, hey, where do you get these? Okay, so this is actually just one of our clear stamp cases. And I have just put a piece of designer series paper inside. And I'm very much a fan of pink. So I just found some with pink in there and put them on there. And then it just gives it like it pretties it up so you don't have to look at your chamois after it's all like inked and all that kind of stuff. So that's all I've done there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp the envelope while I'm at it. And we'll just do some clusters of these snowflakes. Okay. So I've got that, a flurry of snowflakes. I love it. And then we'll go ahead and come in and stamp our sentiment. I didn't put an inside layer in this because it's a light colored cardstock. So I feel like it's appropriate to just kind of write on that. So I'm just going to stamp my sentiment inside. And we're ready to layer and put this one together. See, easy, easy. That's what we love for Christmas card classes or Christmas cards when we are making a lot. So let's get our shimmer snowflakes. Let me grab that. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. I don't know if it will. You'll be able to see it in person. That little shimmer on there. So for this one, I'm actually going to use my liquid glue. And when I cut these for class, I made sure to leave it so there was a border around the perimeter. So I'm just going to go around that perimeter, putting my glue, and then I might just hit some of the larger spots on this, like the center of the snowflake. Should be good. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in place. And it's just got a nice, it's cut to have just a nice frame around it. And you might just go like this and press down with it. Okay. Let me let that aside. I want to put some dimensionals on here. Okay, let me use scissors to cut this. Almost use the full sheet of dimensionals. I'm just going to cut these up. We'll use this edge. Okay. There we go. All right, so we've got that pressed down. We're going to go ahead and come back in with our Let It Snow circle. And then we're going to put these snowflakes on. And because these are little, I think I'm just going to put them on with glue dots actually. So I'm going to take some mini glue dots, and you know how I am about using these little glue dots from the Paper Pumpkin kits. Well, it's stuck to my finger. We'll see. We'll see how this works for me. I normally do liquid glue, but I was like, oh, the glue dots will just take a few of those. And I probably could have had the glue dots already on them so you wouldn't have to watch me do this. Okay. It's so rainy out today, and I have to say I'm really quite enjoying it. Although it's not much good for, a walk. I don't really want to walk in the rain, but I am enjoying it. I hope you are too. I mean, because it's a great way today just to spend some time with all of you crafting. And if you feel free to share the video if you'd like to. That helps me grow my channel on YouTube. And if you're not a subscriber, I would love for you to hit the little, right, right down here. Should be down there in the corner. If I'm pointing the right area, hit the subscribe button so you'll get notifications when I upload a video. And I'm trying to get this little glue dot there. And feel free to like and comment. I did say a couple weeks back I had somebody just give me a thumbs down. I don't know. They must have been having a bad day, I guess, but um, I'm all for constructive criticism though too at the same time. Anyway, share the creativity. That's what it's all about. Okay, so there is our first card. Hope you love that one. So you've got 4 of those to make. And I'm going to clear this space and I'm going to come back with our next project. Okay, this is our next card. Just a simple, yet really class A kind of the Holy Family. I love this card. That I can't take credit for the design because my inspiration was a card that Stampin' Up! Shared for this exact set, which is what drew me to it. I loved just the calmness of the color and the feel of this card, with just the focus on the Holy Family and the little gem for the star. Um, yeah, I hope you like it too. So everything is just flush to a surface. There's no dimensionals on this aside from the dimension from the little gem. And we're going to do some tearing. So let me kind of take you through that. Okay, we are using a Child is Born, which is a new stamp set, and really beautiful with the line art images and some lovely sentiments inside. It's a photopolymer stamp set. I've also grabbed the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. We're using that. And when you use the 3D embossing folder, you use the gray specialty plate to emboss. And then the ink that we're using is Crumb Cake. And I've grabbed some of the champagne rhinestone gems to accent with our little star there. Okay. So let me share with you what we've got. Now I'm using confetti cream. I know it's retired. I know we haven't had it in a while, but you know what? If you love it, you love it. You know, every time I use this at a class when I have just a little bit and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to use it. It'll be perfect on this one. Everybody's like, I wish Stampin' Up! Would bring this back. I do too. Okay, so we've got our envelope. We've got a card base that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. Then I grabbed a piece of basic beige, which is a 4.25 by 5.5. And we've got two pieces of crumb cake, which are 1 inch by 4.25. I have already gone ahead and embossed those so they've got the texture of the exposed brick. So I used that embossing folder there. We're ready to go ahead and get started stamping and get this card made. Okay, so I'm going to take and fold that at the score line and get some stamping done. Let me get my foam mat because we definitely want to stamp on that because we're stamping that larger image of the Holy Family. So, okay. So I'm going to take and ink that. And I'm going to tear this lower portion. So I'm going to be mindful where I stamp this and press down. Okay. And clean that off. And I'm going to grab this little stars in the sky. We're going to stamp that. And then on my example, I did all is calm, all is bright, but I decided to change it up a little bit. And so I'm going to do For unto us a child is born. Stamp that down in the right under the staff there. Set that aside. And then I'm going to come in on the inside and do, Oh, come, let us adore him. Okay. And we'll put that little lamb there because he's just so cute. Stamp that on the inside. Go ahead and stamp that little lamb on our envelope. Kind of like a little seal there, like oh my goodness, look. Look, it's an upside down. Okay, that's okay. I'm just gonna leave it there. But I really do want him right there in the corner. So I will just put my address label right there. And we're just gonna roll with it. Okay. All right, so that is stamped. We've got everything else stamped. We'll close that. Did I clean these two off? I don't know if I did. Let me do that. Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and assemble this card. And you'll notice on this one here, on the top one, I have it torn. So I'm gonna just tear like a 1/4 inch off. And to tear it, I'm just gonna take my index finger and thumbs on both hands and just kind of follow each other down and tear that off. Okay, so I've got a torn edge there. And then I want to tear this edge on the basic beige piece. I'm going to do the same thing, just following down. Sorry, I kind of went off the camera there. And tear that. That one I tore about a 1/2 inch off. This one we're not going to tear because we're going to layer that right on the cardstock, the front. Okay. So we'll just put some liquid adhesive there. I always like to use liquid adhesive for the most part on my embossing folders because of the texture. So I'm gonna put that down. And then I'm going to layer this. I want it about just like a half inch up. There's a little break in color here, but this is actually going to cover it, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. So I will put adhesive on there, kind of place it where you want. So you've got, like I said, about a half inch up. So you might have a little bit of a gap up here, a little bit of a margin. And then put that at the top. Oh, it seems like a lot of glue. I just got a picture of that. That's very robust on the glue there, Christina. Let me make sure I've got that at the top of my card. Yeah. Okay. So we've got that. Oh, this corner's coming up. I should have put a little adhesive right there in the corner. All right, so we've got that together now. I need a gem. I'll just put one right in the center star there. Perfect. Okay. All right, and there we go. That's our second card. So you'll be doing 4 of those. So you can continue to make those. You can pause the video if you're working on your kit. So you'll want to make 4 of these, and I'll be right back with the next project. Let me grab the cards. There we go. Okay, so for this next project, I hope you're hanging in there with me. We're like halfway through. We're on the 3rd card. Okay, for this next project, you're going to do 2 of each. So you're going to do 2 in the real red, 2 in the garden green. Both will have the poinsettia like design with the colors in there, and they'll be complementary. And then you'll have a selection of the die cut words, which I'll come back to this in just a little bit. So you'll notice on the card, see how it is embossed. You've got all those words in the background, and then you've got these highlighted. Okay. And on the red there, we've got it highlighted. There's the words, and then we've got it highlighted with the garden green um, die cut words. So you'll just kind of reverse them, or you can do them the same. If you want your grading to be the red on there, you can do that too. So I'm just gonna, for the purposes at class, we just used garden green ink on the insides of all our cards so that the red and the green didn't get mixed with the inks, and maybe somebody didn't clean off the stamp. So I just tried to keep it really simple and just stuck with garden green. I used the base or the Whisper White, basic white, I guess this is called now, our craft pad on uh, the sentiments that I die cut, which again, I'll circle back to that. And then I grabbed a couple sentiments from a retired set from last year. And again, it's an inside sentiment, and I like the little holly. I just felt like it was complimentary of the designer series paper. So I know that you'll have something comparable to be able to use if you want to recreate this. This really, the Christmas Words Collage Hybrid folder is what is the star of the show with this project. So let me share with you about this. So this is a hybrid embossing folder. As you can see, you've got all these different words on there. Okay. And it is an embossing folder with all the words and then the die. So this die fits into, locks right into this. Okay, so you've got it locked into place. You put your cardstock down, you close well, I just shifted that. You put the cardstock down, you close the folder, run it through the embossing machine with the gray specialty plate. Okay, it's going to cut and emboss each one of these words. So I did that. Well, at class, everyone did that with their panels. So they embossed it because you could set your cardstock, like say down here in this lower portion or up here in this corner, really wherever you wanted to get if there was a particular section of words that you wanted on your card front. So that was up to you. So everyone did that on their own at class. I had already gone ahead and pre-done a bunch of die cut words. As you can see here, I've got a bunch left over extra. So in your kit, you could have you could have all kinds of different words. Like, so I have "'tis the season" on this one and "peace, joy, and love" on this one. Some of the ladies took multiple small sentiments and just kind of put them together to kind of make whatever sentiment they wanted on here. I don't even know what's in this kit here. Let me see. In this kit, I've got a season's greetings and a Noel. So you could have any of these particular sayings. There should be more than you'll need to be able to create your cards with, because I wanted to give you a variety. So hopefully you've got something that meets the sentiment you'd like to put on there. If you get them and you're like, you know what, Christina, I don't like these sentiments, please reach out to me because I want you to be happy with what you've created. And if it's just like, you know what, I don't like "'tis the season," I would like them to all say "Merry Christmas." I am happy to do that for you. So just let me know. So think I think I'm gonna go with the Noel. Although the season's greetings, maybe I'll just wait and see and place it on there. But so how I did the sentiments, it was I embossed um the garden green and the real red. I embossed like big a 6 by 6 panel, so as big as the folder itself. Embossed everything. Then I took my white craft pad and I just went right over. I swiped, I'll do on the back of this because I'm going to put it on my card front, but just so that you can have reference for what I'm talking about. I took my ink pad and just went direct to paper, just like this. Okay. Only I did it on the embossed side. So what it does is it picks up ink right where the words are at. So that's why you get the highlighted Noel. It's just if it was just all red with no pop of like white color there, it wouldn't stand out as much. So I wanted to kind of bring that a little bit more to life. So that is how I created the shading on the die cut words. Okay. So this is already done with the folder. We're ready to go ahead and create our card. Everything is flat on the card, except I did pop up the words, the sentiments. So whichever ones you have, I would recommend popping them up with dimensionals. As I said, we were using the Christmas Words Collage hybrid folder and dies, the basic or the basic white craft pad, and then the garden green ink. You can get that bent up. And then the supplies on this card. So we've got our basic white envelope. You've got a piece of basic white cardstock that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. Then you've got a piece of garden green and real red. So you'll have two of each. So those are 4 by 5.25, and they have been embossed for you. I think I even put a little shimmer on them for you. So you'll see that if you did a kit to go. If you're doing this at home, you put a little shimmer on it, leave it plain, whatever you choose. And then your designer series paper is 3/4 of an inch by 5.25. So you'll have that in your kit as well. This card's going to come together really easily. So we're going to fold our cardstock in half. I'm going to bring in some stamping paper. And like I said, I grabbed the holly because I felt like it worked with the designer series paper that we were using. And I'm just going to stamp that on the inside of my card. I'm going to do the envelope with that as well, but I'm going to go ahead and do this inside sentiment. Stamp that aside. Okay, and then I'm just going to do on the flap, I'm going to do a couple hollies. Okay. And that's it. We're going to go ahead and close that ink pad up. Let me clean off both of these stamps. Okay. And we'll go ahead and put this beautiful card together. All right, so we're just going to put some liquid adhesive on this. And make sure your words are right side up so you don't put it on upside down. Press that in place. Do a little bit with your designer series paper strip, and you can put that wherever you might like. If you want to drop it down here, you want to put it in the center. I like the center, so I'm going to go with that. Okay. And then my words. So, um, well, I don't know what I did with the season's greeting ones, so it's good that I was going to go with a Noel because it's just ventured off somewhere here. Let me get some mini dimensionals. So I'm going to take that Noel and just turn that upside down. Put some dimensionals on the back side of her. Okay. There we go. And just put that right in the center of the card. And we are done. Like so easy, but that sparkle on there just gives it a little bit of something extra. And again, you'll have different sentiments on your cards. So I hope you enjoy that variety that this card includes. And you're going to make 4 of these. Okay, we are back with another card. All right, I hope you're hanging in there with me. I know we're like, what, 2/3 of the way through, maybe? You're like, yeah, 60%. I guess 60% of the way. No, is that right? Yeah, 60%. Anyway, um, I forgot to mention if we're doing these projects today and you're new to me or there's something you want to order, you can visit my online store at stampingyoucrazy.stampinup.net, and you can shop these products right there just by simply like putting the name in. Like if you're looking for this Merry Christmas stamp set, just write in Merry Christmas. It'll come up, select, add to cart, and you do earn 10% in rewards on your purchases for ordering directly online. If it's something that you'd like me to order, you're welcome to message me. I'm happy to do that for you. Of course, you're watching this through my YouTube channel. Again, feel free to share it, to like it, to subscribe, to make a comment, all the things that help me build my business. I'm forever grateful for that and the opportunity to share creativity with you. So I appreciate that so much. Okay, this next one that we are doing is a simple Christmas card, but so elegant. Just using some designer series paper, ribbon, and a die cut with that beautiful Merry Christmas stamp and a nice sentiment inside. So let's get started. Okay, so this sentiment piece is on with some dimensionals, and there's a little faux trick to this ribbon here, which we'll circle back. If you've got a kit, you're probably like, Christina, what are these 2-inch pieces of ribbon in here for? I've got 8 of them. I know. We'll go over that. So the ribbon that we're using is a Stampin' Up. It's like a half, I think it's 5/8 of an inch, a grosgrain ribbon. We've got real red ink. We're using the Merry Christmas stamp. This is new, and it is a photopolymer stamp. I'm also using the textured notes dies, which there's another little one in here. Is like, um, there he is, right there. There's the long one there that kind of got jumbled around. But this is a great set of rectangular dies. And I actually selected this one that's loose. You think if I could get it out, it'd be easier to show you. Oh my goodness. Let's put that back there. So this is the one that I used on the kits. So let me just put that back in there so I don't get that all jumbled up. You can see where I keep all my extras that I die cut out. It's just in there for extras. And I am using my Stamparatus on here. Because why? Because everybody loves the Stamparatus and wish it never had gone away. And I love it, and we're just going to use it. I use this for class because it's so easy to line it up for the ladies. It made life easier. And I'm like, why am I going to have, them stress out, me stress out? Just make a template and make the whole life easier. Yeah. So we're ready to start stamping. We've got our envelope. We've got a piece of basic beige that is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We've got a piece of basic white, and you're like, Christina, that's a frame. I know. I die cut this out of the center because you know me. I love to do that. And the reason I love to do that was one, because I don't have to cut another sheet of paper. I can just use what I'm already cutting. but it also doesn't add extra weight to your paper. This is a sheet, a layer that was on your card, and by die cutting out a center, you're not adding any more weight. So the postage helps on postage. So that's why I do that. So it is 4 by 5 1/4, and I have die cut that textured note already out of there. So it gives you a frame. We're going to layer over it, so you're not even going to know that that's gone. And then we've got a piece of designer series paper, and that is, you know what? I want to correct myself here. Wait a minute. I want to correct myself on the measurement. So this piece of paper was originally 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So I do want to correct that. So if you're making this card on your own to get those right measurements, and it just gives you this nice little layer of white. Then the designer series paper is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay. You could use any designer series paper for this card because the focus is the Merry Christmas, and then you just have your holiday paper around it. You could duplicate this card easily and make more for your holiday card making. So I'm going to take my um, textured note there, put that in my template space, and just go ahead and ink that. Stamp that down, get my little glider here. And my husband is working on perfecting his turning so he can start making these. So just heads up there. I know a lot of you have asked. Okay, so we've got that Merry Christmas. It's just good to go. How easy was that? I didn't stress about lining it up or anything. I will put my paper in here just to hold that because I'll clean that off later. Get that out of the way. And then we're going to come in with the sentiment. Again, another inside sentiment, just beautiful. It says, May the peace of the season light your world, and may the new year be the brightest. May your new year be the brightest. I mean, who of us wouldn't want that for a new year? That's for sure. Okay. I think I've stamped it just a little cattywampus there, but you know, I love it. It's gonna be okay. All right, we are done with the red ink. Well, you know what? Let me put some snowflakes on this. I'm gonna grab that snowflake stamp. We'll do that because who says you can't have red snowflakes? I mean, it's a holiday card. Why not? We can do what we want. It's stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and use that snowflake stamp and ink that and stamp it on the back of my envelope. Ooh, I like that. That's cute. There we go. Very festive. We'll go ahead and shut that red ink because oftentimes when we're working with red ink, we're usually wearing it because it's so robust. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fold our card base in half and flatten it in the crease. We're going to layer our designer series paper, and I'm just going to go around the frame of this designer series paper. So I'm doing that because I know then this frame, this piece of designer series paper will stick to the frame of the white that I have. And it's not going to go over and get like where I would have adhesive all in the center and then I'll just be like, oh, I've just glued that to my table surface. So when you do it, just go around the frame and then stick that down. You've got that piece ready to go. I didn't have a ribbon in here, so let me grab a couple of those. But I had them in the kit, but I didn't. So you've got in your kit, you've got 8 pieces of 2-inch ribbon. So we're gonna do a faux wrap of ribbon. So you have the illusion of this ribbon going all the way through the card. This is a great way um, to extend your resources of your card making. So you see I put a little bit of Scotch tape there. For me, this is how I like to do it when I'm holding down to make like a faux piece of ribbon coming through. So I put the Scotch tape there. I'm going to bring it back around this way, tape it on the back side. Do the same on the other. And I'm just gonna like eyeball it so make sure that it's like across from each other. That looks straight, yeah. And flip that over. Oops. Okay. Oh, that one, oh, I need to bring it down a little bit. There we go. It was a little cattywampus. Okay, let me grab some dimensionals. And this is a larger piece, so I want to be pretty generous with my dimensionals here. I'm gonna get them in all the areas. So all corners and then in the center. Okay. And I'm going to take that and center that on my card. Okay. And see, you can't see the tape and you think that ribbon is going all the way through. Super easy technique. Now for this one, I am going to use my snail because I've got that ribbon back there. So I'm just going to go ahead and run some of my, not my snail, my Stampin' Seal. Used to be called snail. It's all the things. Your adhesive. And this just has a very little margin on the side, so that color just peeks out. Okay. And there is our fourth card. So now we are 80% done to making 20 cards. I'm going to go ahead and clean these supplies up, and then I'll be back with one more project for you. Okay, we are ready to do our last project for our Christmas card extravaganza. All right, so here we go. So we have got this beautiful scene of like Bethlehem. I love the peacefulness of this card. And if you look really close, you can see that there are some watermark stamping on the blue right behind here. Okay, so and then on the inside, we've got a beautiful sentiment and the um, little t with Bethlehem there. And you know what? Let's see, piece of okay. Um, what am I doing? Okay. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. Shepherd's Care is the stamp set that we're using. This came out last year, carried over. It's extremely popular. The imagery in it is beautiful. The sentiments are lovely as well. It's not only good for this time of year for Christmas cards, but it also has He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. This is a beautiful sentiment for if you needed to send a sympathy card for this time of year, or really any time, but this time of year, that's a beautiful sentiment verse, or a beautiful Bible verse. So we're using this stamp set. It is red rubber stamp set. And then for, let me put this here. Other items we're using the 2.5-inch circle punch. We are using a blender brush, which is right there. Versamark pad, Night of Navy ink. I've got all the stamps on blocks that we're going to be using. We're using the Twisted in Time set of dies. I've grabbed the label out of here. So this one right here. This die set is, and there's actually, it's not just, it's 2 sheets. Let me pull it out here to show you. Oh my goodness. I was just really stuck in there. Oh, you know what? It's that adhesive at the bottom. I swear that adhesive that Stampin' Up! Uses on there is like no other. My goodness. Okay, so it's a 2-sheet set of dies. So you've got the trees, you've got the banner piece, which is what I used, and then you've got these other elements. These are like greenery to put on the tree, and then a frame element. So this is the one I used. Anyway, this is on the last chance list. So if you have interest in it, the stamp set itself is really beautiful too. Let me pull that. I've got it right here. This is the imagery in the stamp set. We've used it before in class too. So I think it's really pretty. I love the detail of the the structure of the tree. Really pretty. So we put that back on there. Then we're also using the Spotlight on Nature dies. This one is, ugh, this is the one we're using. It has this nice little like hash marks, little lines around it. But this is also a two set of dies, and you get these great circles that layer inside of one another, and they all have different patterns, but they layer nicely. Okay. All right, so we'll put those aside, and then I've got some iridescent gems to put on the little star there. So we're going to start with our supplies. We've got a confetti white envelope, and I know the ladies loved the confetti white at class. We don't have it. Let Stampin' Up! Know, hey, I'd like to see that back because I think we all would. I just love the flecks of color in it, so I really wish they would bring it back. But I think it works perfectly for this, and I went ahead and used it. So it's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. And then I've got a circle punch out of the confetti white, the 2.5 circle punch. I've already done that. I've got a strip of the confetti white that is 5/8 of an inch by, oh, let me see. I think it's 5/8 of an inch by, like, let me measure because I'm going to tell you wrong. 2 3/4. So 5/8 by 2 3/4, that will fit perfectly in this banner. I've gone ahead and die cut the Night in Navy circle and banner. We've got a piece of, this is boho blue, which I know retired, but you could use any other light blue that we have. You could do the balmy blue. You could probably even do like Lost Lagoon, whatever light color blue. You could even actually do probably like a smoky slate would look nice with this too. So this piece is 4 by, nope, no. This piece, yeah, it is 4 by 5.25. Oh my goodness. Then I've got this piece, which I die cut out of. I die cut these two out of. And let me tell you, when I did it, I was like, I had to make sure I was placing them spot on so that it would still be a layer. So you can see how it layers nicely. You don't even know that I die cut that out of there. Look at that. So this layer is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and it gives you the perfect layer for this piece. And we are ready to start stamping. So we're going to start by folding our card base in half. Appreciate all of you staying with me because I know this class is a long one. We are stamping a lot. So we're going to go ahead and start with our blue, the lighter blue, and we're going to do our Versamark. And on that one, I did the star, and then I also did Wonderful Counselor, Prince of Peace, Mighty God, Everlasting Father. So I put those in the background to kind of create just a watermark effect. And by using the Versamark, that's what you get when you do that. So I'm just going to kind of create my own pattern here and just do like every other. The Versamark is like a clear sticky ink. A lot of people use it for embossing. It works really well for this technique. You could also create it by using the same color ink on that. It would be a little more intense. And I wanted this just to be very soft because of the kind of the quietness of the card. That's how I can describe it best. But you can see the imagery there. It's very faint. Okay. Then I'm going to come back in with my circle. We're done with the Versamark. So I put that aside. And I'm going to grab all these stamps here. So we'll start with the Knight of Navy. And I always like to use our largest stamp first. And I'm just going to kind of offset this a bit. Okay. I do want to do this on my envelope, so I may as well go ahead and do that while I've got the stamp out. There we go. That looks so pretty. Okay. And then I'm gonna do the little Bethlehem scene. I wanted to try and stamp that so it was not touching there. And a little star there. Okay. I'll do that on the inside too. I think. Okay. And I went ahead and grabbed some sentiments from, I pulled this out. You might have this in your collection, For Unto Us. It's a great faith-based sentiments. So I grabbed out I put them together on the block. For unto us a child is born, Merry Christmas. So I grabbed those two. I put them together. Okay. And then I'm going to do the peace on earth on the front. Okay. And I think that's everything with our stamping. Oh, no, I got to do some blending. So I wanted to kind of create some shading right there because I just felt like everything was floating. I needed like some color to kind of ground things. So I went in with the navy and just you have to kind of tap it off some, otherwise it's going to be too intense, too dark. It's even a little darker than what my example was, but I like it because it kind of it doesn't, then it's not floating. So it gives it like a base. It makes sense. Hopefully it does. Okay. All right, we're ready to layer and assemble. I'm going to use my liquid adhesive. And I am going to put my adhesive kind of strategically in these sections because I don't want glue coming through on the back and then creating a mess on my work surface. So this is just like 1/8 of an inch layer, just enough to really get that color to pop. Come back with the glue. And this way you can kind of go all around it. Go. Okay. And we'll put our circle on there. I am going to pop up this circle, the navy one with dimensionals and our banner piece. So I'm going to put this confetti white piece on. Ew, that could have been real bad. That would have went the glue side down. And just center that on my banner. Okay. Then come back in with dimensionals. I think I'm going to use up the rest of the sheet. I might have to get a new one. We're going to do 3 on there. Let's get some on this piece. Ah, yes, this is done. Okay, let's see if I've got a fresh sheet up here. I'm going to have to grab some minis because don't have a fresh sheet there, but I am going to chop on the side because I need them to be just a little bigger than a mini. So I love that we have the side pieces to use from because then nothing goes to waste. Okay. All right, so we're just gonna figure out my placement with that. Get the dimensionals off of this one and put that in place. And you know what? I meant to do some shimmer spray on this one. So let me get this stuff out of the way. Get my little gem here. Come back and put that on. Gem right there. Give it a little shimmer. But I want to put some shimmer on this card as well. So make this up the weapon. Okay. Should have done it just on the blue, but I think it'll be fine with this too. But I think that'll help give it a little shimmer. And it kind of goes to with like the whole Starry Night kind of feel. That'll dry here. Won't take very long. Okay, so while this is drying, I'm just going to set that there. So we've got this card. Let me grab the other ones. Out of the way. So then we've got this one. And we've got this one, which you could have one of these two as well. We've got this one with the little lamb, one that I stamped upside down, which don't need that. And then the Let It Snow. Okay. Okay. Let me bring this back around here. Yay. All right. We are done. That was a stamping extravaganza, right? So hopefully by this time you've paused the video and you've got all your 20 cards done. So you've made a very good start at your holiday card making, if not gotten them done, depending on how many cards you send. So I hope that you enjoyed the projects today. I hope that they inspired you and for you to realize that you can keep your cards simple and easy. You want them to be mailable so you don't have to put extra postage on them and for them to not cause you stress to get them done. So I hope you are creating at home cozy and some cozy clothes, maybe like a nice warm cup of tea, maybe a little chocolate on the side while you're crafting. But I appreciate you so much for joining me today. I hope that these ideas inspired you. And I hope you continue to take some time set aside to create your own paper sunshine that you can send along and brighten somebody's day. So, all right, until next time, happy stamping. Bye bye.